Okay, good morning, Jason. How are you?
Morning, teacher. I'm I'm a little cooked, but I'm okay. Thanks. What about you?
Good, good. I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm cold. I mean, I'm not sick, but I feel cold. Um, but yes, very good. How was your class? I want to know all about it.
Well, I knew I I knew I was going to screw it up. I did, but I think I imagined worse outcomes. And at the end, it wasn't that bad. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I was supposed to be with the teacher, but she had to go, and I was alone.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, oh
Uh-huh.
my gosh, I'm gonna die here. But I try my best. The thing is, I am losing my voice, and
Mm.
in a classroom, Colombian classroom, you have to scream, or at least
Yeah,
you have
that's true.
to have a low yeah, loud pitch, and
Mm-hmm.
I try my best. I could control the class like for 40 minutes, and then it wasn't chaos at all. I mean, still they were sat down, but they were speaking a lot. And I was like, hey, please be quiet, I cannot scream. And of course they were going to they were not going to obey obey.
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep going with the ones that were like paying attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, my voice is not helping me.
No,
And
no.
today I have another class. Yeah, teacher,
Yeah,
sorry.
I was going to ask you that for how many, like, how many classes you have to give?
Okay. Um, the order of the workshop says that is one a mandatory class. But my mentor teacher in the school, she told me like, oh, go ahead, do the classes you want. And I was like, oh, okay, of course I want to do them. Today I have another class, and today
Mm-hmm.
I will okay, if my voice helps me. And today
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be with a calmer group, or at least that was what the teachers told me, that that
Mm-hmm.
course of that group of today is they have a better behavior. So I
Okay.
will try again my best.
Okay, that's good. Well, hopefully they will listen to you and they will be more quiet today. But I mean, the good thing is that they didn't like they well, based on what you said to me, they didn't attack you at all. Or at least they didn't bully you. Because that's my biggest fear. Because like those kids that are like starting like to be like teenagers, they can be like very mean. So I'm glad that they were not like that with you.
Thank you, teacher. And even the teachers told me that's one of the worst. Okay, I don't like to call them worse or better at all. I mean, they are
Mm-hmm.
complicated children or adolescents, let's say. They are
Mm-hmm.
active, they are in a lot of things. So if I survive that, more or less, I survived. Still, I commit many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I have this kind of, let's say, of a skill of being able to analyze things. But the thing is, I analyze them after they happen, not while they are happening.
Mm,
But
okay.
well, some of the mistakes I committed yesterday, I will, or at least I have notes of them, so I can fix them today with the other class.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's good. That like we have, they can give us the benefit of the doubt because we are learning how to be teachers. So, and I'm pretty sure that the teachers that now are in that school, they are still learning. I feel that as a teacher, you are constantly learning about the context, the social context, the new technologies, the new strategies. So, I don't know, we're in a learning process and like I wouldn't worry that much about it. But yeah, just like try to recover your voice as much as you can and try to drink a lot of like honey. But sometimes that helps me a lot actually. Before I'm going to give a speech or something, um, because I used to work for Best Buy. I don't know if you have heard, it's a company here in America. And I used to talk and teach new employees, and I had to talk for several hours. So I used to like keep drinking like spoons of honey, and that will help with my voice. Even though like I'm not screaming, I'm constantly talking, and the voice gets tired. So, but now that you're like, or I mean, I hope you were not screaming, but like your voice is higher, your volume is higher, you should maybe take a spoon of honey before it. Maybe it will help. But I'm excited. I'm excited for you for your process with these kids. Maybe they will end up loving you or something. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, actually, yes, I have been drinking honey all these days, but as you can tell, my voice isn't improving that much. I wasn't screaming, but I have to like speak pretty loud. I think that was
Uh-huh.
the thing, and also the cold. Yeah, yesterday, the night was, and this morning it was cold, and well, this happens to me. I don't know if it is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in the morning, I have no voice because of the cold or because of the flu. And
Really?
then, yeah, when I'm sick. And then during the day, I start to recover my voice. For example, this morning, I couldn't speak too loud, but now in this moment, I think my voice is a little better.
Oh, okay, that's good. I won't make you talk that much, I think. But yeah, well, let's start with the class and then we'll keep like talking during the class. Hopefully you will recover your voice and you don't have to scream here with me so you can talk very, very low. I don't care. But yeah, it's very nice to see you again, Jason. I'm glad that you joined to this session. The other students, they didn't reply or anything, so I assume that they will not join. They didn't sign up, but they text me. Okay, so today we're going to practice our reading skill based on exam preparation environment. Uh, so we have an agenda. We already greet ourselves. We already say hi to each other. We're going to discuss the goal, the activities, and then we will immediately read and get into the activities. Then we will do the wrap up and the conclusion. So today's class goal is that we will be able to practice our reading skills with different types of text if we have time. We will identify the main ideas of the article, the details, and we'll practice our reading comprehension. How is your reading skill, Jason? How is like your reading comprehension skill?
Well, um, I mean, there are two factors for them. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
read a lot. I used to because in this moment I am into the university and the practice and so on. But I used to read an article and take the words I didn't know. But in this moment I'm not doing that much. And on weekends I do not do homeworks. Usually I am reading books in English. I am reading the Call Protocol. It is a book of the Halo games. I don't know if you know Halo. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I read it in English. It has yeah pretty specific vocabulary, but I'm understanding most of it.
Okay, that's good. I have to say that like I don't know what I have, but reading and writing can be my weakest skills, communication skills, because like writing, well, I try my best, but my issue is that when I write the same way that I speak. So my writings tends to be a little bit informal because I'm like, so, and then, and blah, 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 and in writing, you shouldn't like write as the way that you talk. And with reading, I get distracted very, very easily. Like I am reading like a paragraph and then I stop and then I don't know, I just get too distracted. So yeah, definitely those are my weakest skills. Reading comprehension is very hard for me. I have to read and read again so I can like catch the main idea of the article or the text. But today we'll be practicing that, not just you, but also me. Um, okay, so the warm-up activity or the warm-up questions are, have you ever gone camping, Jason?
No, teacher, I don't think so.
Okay, me neither.
No, not even once.
Um, I don't want to either. I like to go on hikes, kind of, if they are easy hikes. But camping, I feel that like I am too exposed to danger and I won't be able to enjoy it. What do you think that makes an experience memorable for you?
Maybe the oh my God. Maybe the feelings that
Hmm.
get involved in that experience. For example,
Yeah.
if I hang out with someone and I don't know, we laughed a lot, we spoke a lot, and that makes it memorable. It is not,
Hmm.
let's say, it is not a luxurious thing of, for example, going to a mall or something like that. Even a little walk to the town for me is memorable if I connect with person or even if not necessarily should be romantic or something like that. It could be also like a
Hmm.
friend, a group of friends.
Hmm.
For example, when I was a kid and I hung out with my homies and we
Hmm.
were laughing, we were playing Xbox. That was memorable because the experience was beautiful. Was we were happy.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I feel that like we can make memorable experience of on like very simple things. You don't have to do like huge things to make it like memorable. Um, I think something that helps me and that I force myself to do it and to practice it is be present in the moment. I am a person that is always thinking about the future. You know, like, okay, what do I have to do tonight? So, for example, we're here. Well, here in America it's 8:22 a.m. In Colombia 7 a.m. And I'm already thinking, what am I going to do today? At night when I get home from classes, what do I have to do? What do I have for tomorrow? Like constantly thinking what is the next step. And I sometimes I forget to like enjoy the moment. And actually that happens to me when I went to the Harry Styles concert in Colombia. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. And while we were waiting on the line with my sister, I kept thinking, it's going to be so nice to go back home after like all this crowd. It's going to be so hard to get an Uber. And then I was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't have this experience to come to concerts of the people or the singers that I like. Why am I already complaining? And I was like, no, I need to like experience, have this memorable experience and live in the present. And that definitely helped me to enjoy and not think about the Uber, how hungry I'm going to get at 2 a.m. or like whatever. So that's what makes a memorable experience for me is like be present and enjoy the small things too. So there you go. Thank you very much for answering these questions. Now you have an idea of like what we are going to talk or read during this session. Now we are going to practice some vocabulary. I don't know if you already know these words or if you don't know any of them, just let me know. Survival, luxuries, edible, unpredictable, shelter, tricky, and fulfill. Are all these words clear for you?
I think edible. I haven't seen that
Ed-
word.
okay. Edible is pretty much the same word as in Spanish, like comestible. So in this environment, it's like, okay, when you go on a camp, try to find food that is edible, que es comestible, que no te vaya a envenenar.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
new word for me. I would say I would have thought about eatable, but I am not sure if
Mm-hmm.
even that word exists.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But edible exists, so that's the meaning of edible. Okay, I have, based on all these words, I have a game for you. Um, and um, let me so I'll send you the link and just let me know when you are done. Send me the screenshot if you want. And so you can practice like the context that you can use in this with these words. Okay. I'll give you like what, 3 minutes? 3 to 5 minutes?
Yeah, teacher. Thanks. I finished.
Great. Did you like it? I think it's very funny, that frog. I love that frog game.
Yeah, but the thing I don't like about these games is the time pressure. I don't know why.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And the music. The music is annoying too. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to read. Um, so before we get into the reading activities, I want to discuss some reading tips that might help you. Maybe you already know them, but I just want to review some of them. So in a context where you are taking an exam. So first, something that helps me is read the title and predict the content. So when they are giving you the reading part, like I know that we have like a period of time where we have to finish the exam, but just try to like do these tips as soon as possible. So first read the title and predict the content. So you will have an idea of like what the content or the text might talk about it. And then don't try to understand or translate every word of the text because first that will take you a lot of time to do that. And then when you are translating, you shouldn't be translating word by word because we have phrasal verbs in English that can mean exactly they can have like a different meaning of like literal translation and a meaning, if that makes sense. And that will take you such a long time. And I'm pretty sure, or that has happened to me, where I start translating and try to find and understand every word. And because I don't understand one specific word, I get so frustrated and I start losing time. And we don't want to experience that when we are taking an exam. So just try to understand the meaning or the idea of the paragraph by context and you can have an idea about it, and that idea can help you to answer the questions. Then, after you read that, the entire text, try to summarize what you read. So, what I do is that, like, when I'm taking an exam, reading exam, what I do is that I take one paragraph, I read it, and then on the side, I write like a small summarize, or I write like the details that might help me to like answer the following questions of the exam. That's a good tip and like it has helped me a lot to like find the correct answer. And also look at the questions first. I think it's very important when we are doing a reading and listening exam. It's very important to look at the questions first so we will have an idea of what they are going to ask or what we are going to hear and the possible answers. Um, So it will be easier, or for me, that helps. It's easier for me when I read the questions first, and then finding the answer is so fast and quickly. So those are a few tips that might help you at the moment that you take an exam. So let's read first the questions. I don't know if we are going to be able to discuss all the questions because of the time, but first, what is the writer doing in the first paragraph? The writer says that the team building tasks were carried out in order to blah, blah, blah. What does the writer suggest about the first night activity? Okay, so we know that we have to pay attention to what they are going to do in the first night. How does the writer say she felt when the survival adventure started? So we have an idea that we have to try to find her opinion about the survival adventure. What does the writer say about the activities? Okay, now we will keep in mind what activities we have to write or read or find in the paragraphs. And how does the writer feel about having taken part? And at the end, we know that like how does the writer feel about it? We might find it in the conclusion. Is that information that the writer might add in the conclusion paragraph? I don't know if those tips make sense for you, or do you have any questions so far?
No, they make sense.
Okay, great. Perfect. So what we are going to do is that I'm going to read one paragraph, then you will read another one, then I will read the other one, and blah, 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 blah. Okay? So I'll read the first one. Survival Adventure Camp. Last summer, I took part in a survival adventure camp in the mountains. It was run by Survive Adventure Club. And the idea behind it was to give teenagers like me a taste of what it's like to survive in the wild. There were no luxuries such as a shower or shops, which you find on another adventurous camps. That might have bothered some people, not me though. Our guides were experienced and reassured us that they would be with us in every step of the way. They provided tips to help us make informed decisions about things like where to camp, how to make meals from food we will find ourselves, and how to get around without maps.
Okay. So the exp oh, Re. The experience began at the Survived Adventure Club headquarters at the base of the mountains. There, we were divided into teams for the camp. The teams weren't based on age and experience, but on our performance in a number of team-building tasks, which was a way for the leaders to put us together based on individual skills and personalities to ensure a good mix in each team. We were led through a series of fun activities, such as making a raft which floated on water and taking part in a quiz. The activities were aimed at helping us make the most of our strengths, in addition to building confidence before the real survival adventure began.
Once we'll decide that we still wanted to take part after the day's activities, our first night was spent in the cabins at the club headquarters. We had a proper bed for the night, but the evening meal was down to us. I knew there would be some kind of challenges for us. Our survival expert Hans gave us a lesson on finding food, such as plants in the wild. He warned us that not everything that looks good is safe to eat, and explained that it is vital to identify what you are looking at. Hans not only pointed that what was edible or should be left alone, but also taught us to build campfire and provide cooking tips. He told us we should see our imagination as cooking in the wild was different to cooking at home.
Next morning, the real survivor adventure began, with being advised to take well-fitting hiking boots, warm clothing, and waterproofs. I appreciated the advice because, as we soon found out, the water in mountainous regions can be highly unpredictable. After an, after an initial step climb, we spent the rest of the morning identifying wildfire and learning to navigate using nature alone. We learned to determine where we were heading and what time it was. We put our cooking skills in the test at lunchtime, which was trickier than we imagined, though we eventually came up with something we could all eat. When evening fell, we had to locate a spot to put up our tents in. Although we'd been told there was nothing dangerous in the nearby forest, we still kept away from the edges, which put us at ease.
Over the next 2 days, we made a shelter, learned to treat minor injuries, and build a bridge. I was put in charge of a ladder, and although I hadn't done anything like it previously and wasn't particularly keen to be given the responsibility, I discovered a new skill in engineer, which I never thought I'd be good at. The tasks were all fascinating, and I would like to do more of that kind of thing.
It was a wonderful adventure. Mm. I had no idea what to expect when I signed up and wasn't an outdoors kind of person. So why I thought it was a good idea, I'm not sure. I don't regret it. Though I'm pleased I didn't quit. Even when things go tougher than I ever thought they would. I always knew I was in the capable hands of the leaders, and we had such good fun. I hope to be back again at some point in the future.
There you go. Thank you very much. Okay, so Jason, what do you think it would be like a summary of this text?
Well, I am not too sure.
Yeah, like what do you understand of the text pretty much?
Well, I understand, and she described uh, an adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, Maybe in the first paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep, that's pretty much what she did. She was like sharing a memorable experience that she had last summer. It was something that she never did before. There were some things that she didn't expect at all, like no luxuries like showers or shops, or like, for example, that she or her and her team, they had to find their own food. So definitely it was something like an experience that she wanted to share because it was very new for her, right? That's pretty much it. She was just sharing her experience. Okay, so every time that like I had an exam, a reading exam, or even a grammar exam or whatever, I always try to find the two first options that don't make sense. They don't make sense at all, or they are not connected at all to the text. So can you help me reading A to D options of the first question?
A. Describing the kinds of accommodations available on the trip. B. Explaining why she had some concerns about going on the trip. C. Highlighting that the adventure camp she went on was unlike others. Or D. Offering advice to other teenagers about how to cope with conditions on the trip.
Mhm. So which of those two options do you think that they are completely wrong, that they are not related to the first paragraph? So let's read the first paragraph again. Last summer, I took part in a survival adventure camp in the mountains. It was run by Survive Adventure Club, and the main idea behind it was to give teenagers like me a taste of what it's like to survive in the wild. There were no luxuries such as showers or shops which you find on another adventure camps. That might have bothered some people, not me though. Our guides were experienced and reassured us they would be with us every step of the way. They provided tips to help us make informed decisions about things like where to camp, how to make meals from food we'll find ourselves, and how to get around with maps. So based on that, what tratamos de encontrar las primeras dos opciones que no están, no, o sea, que ni siquiera se deberían considerar opciones porque no están conectadas en lo absoluto con el primer párrafo. Okay, is she describing the kinds of accommodations available on the trip? What do you think?
Yes, she was explaining like there are no luxuries and so on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that might be an option. That might be an option of an answer. What about, was she complaining why she had concerns about going on the trip in the first paragraph?
No, no, I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
She was more like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, I mean, she was explaining that she had some concerns, but didn't do it on the first paragraph, as it says in the question, right? So B is not an option. Was she highlighting that the adventure camp she went on was unlike others?
Yes, but I don't. That was pretty much all the paragraph.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she didn't do it like in the whole paragraph. She wasn't highlighting that adventure. I think that she was giving an introduction pretty much. And what about D, offering advice to other teenagers about how to cope with conditions on the trip?
I don't think so. She talked about the trip, but she wasn't like, oh, this, and this should be done. And no, she didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, which one do you think is the correct answer?
Maybe the first one. I think
Describing?
that, yeah, describing the kind of accommodations or
Mm-hmm.
the sea. Yeah, I would say. I,
Okay. Okay. You will say A for the first one. A or C? You say?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. We'll keep it in mind. Okay. What about the second one? The writer says that the team building tasks were carried out in order to. So, do you understand the question? Team
Yes, teacher.
building tasks. Okay. You do? Okay. Perfect.
In this
So,
case, I would say it is B. Oh,
ensure
yeah,
each group was balanced in terms of ability. You think it's this one?
yeah,
B?
yes.
Okay. And what does the writer suggest about the first night activity? It didn't require too much creativity of the part of the participants. It helped participants decide whether they want to carry or not. It equipped participants with some useful knowledge. It wasn't as relaxing as she had to expect it to be. Remember that here. So
I
I
think it is
think it's
between, yeah, sorry.
which one?
I think it is between B and C. It helped participants decide, but no, I think it quite equipped, equipped. Oh my God.
I,
Equipped,
I
sorry,
think that too.
participants with some useful knowledge.
I think that too, because they pretty much give them like an introduction of like the things that might be helpful for them during the trip. So I think that they equip participants with some useful knowledge and like, for example, how to make a campfire, how to like find food. So I think it's C too. Okay, what about the fourth one? How does the writer say she felt when the survival adventure started? Proud that she quickly acquired knowledge, grateful that she had the appropriate gear with her, nervous about the location she chose to camp in, disappointed in her cooking skills. Okay, this one definitely is not. This one not. She never said that she was nervous. She felt discouraged and she was like, why did I do this? But she never said that she was nervous. So it will be pretty much between these two.
I would say it's A. She was proud that
Okay.
she quickly acquired knowledge about getting around.
Okay. Do you know what is the word gear?
Gear, I think, is like a synonym of equipment, like tools that
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go. And okay, let's do it until here. What does the writer say about the activities they did on the following 2 days? So she found she was good at something she hadn't tried before. She didn't enjoy some of them as much she had hoped to, maybe. She liked being put in a position of leadership for one activity. She felt that the experience of doing similar activities helped her. She never talked about leadership, so I would not choose this one. Um,
I think A, because she was talking about something about engineering,
yes.
and she never thought
Uh,
that she was good at that.
yes, that's true. Okay, let's do the last one. I thought that there were going to be more. How does the writer feel about having taken part in the survival adventure? She was excited about returning as soon as she can. Sorry that she hadn't thought of doing it before. surprised by how much she learned from the leaders, proud of herself for dealing with unexpected difficulties.
My gosh, that's a tough one because A
That's
and
a tough
B,
one.
sorry,
Uh-huh.
yeah, A and D
Uh,
are because at the end she says that she wanted to came back, excited about returning as soon as she can.
mm-hmm.
But D, uh, also yeah, because she dealt with some unexpected difficulties and situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite happy with the answers that we're supposed to answer correctly because kind of doesn't make sense. But for example, the first one you said that it was A and C or something. Yeah. But actually, the correct answer is offering advice to other teenagers about how to cope with conditions on the trip. And apparently, it's like this part. Like, where is it? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Behind it was to give teenagers like me a taste of what it's like to survive in the wild. So, like, the answer is based on this part, but I don't think that they give us that many advices to choose D. She's just saying that the camp is like to like teach teenagers about to how to survive in an environment like that. But that's the answer. Letter and number two, you said two. Sorry, B, and that's correct. It was to ensure that each group was balanced in terms of ability. They did like different types of tasks. So each of them will support the team in different ways. So that was correct. What does the writer suggest about the first night activity? You said it equipped participants with some useful knowledge, and that is correct too. That's what they did. They give them like an introduction, pretty much, about like how to survive, the things that they should and they shouldn't be doing. The fourth one is how does the writer say she felt when the survival adventure started? So here, the correct answer is grateful that she had the appropriate gear with her. I don't remember what you said. I think you said this one, right? Yeah, I think you said this one. And yeah, she was grateful that she received the knowledge and she had like the tools to survive in that camp. The fifth one is what does the writer said about the activities they did on the following 2 days? The correct answer is letter A. She found she was good at something she hadn't tried before. I think that's the one that you choose. And then the sixth one is like, how does the writer feel about having taken part of the survival adventure? The correct answer is letter B. Sorry that she hadn't thought about doing it before, but honestly, I will have choose A because she was like at the end of the paragraph, the last paragraph, she was like, "Why did I thought that this was going a good idea?" And then she said like, "I don't regret it." But like, I don't know. For me, that can show that like she didn't want it to be there and she wasn't excited to be there. But I think it's like perspective. I don't know. But I feel that overall you did very, very good. The two incorrect questions that you got didn't make sense to me. I agree with the options that you chose, but I don't know. That was the website answer. But yeah, this is pretty much the end of the session. I don't know if you have any question with the vocabulary or something.
Teacher, I think it was clear, most
Okay.
of it. Yeah.
Okay. What is the thing that like something new that you learned today based on vocabulary or maybe tips or reading skills?
I learned a new word, edible. I didn't know that kind of
Yeah.
word existed because
Uh-huh.
what I said for me it would be uh, eatable, like eat
Mm-hmm.
able, but eatable.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the tips I already knew them, but it was okay to review them. And
Mm-hmm.
I like this activity because you took a test, uh, a real test, with paragraphs and with specific questions.
Hmm?
And well, that's the idea of exam preparation with readings.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think that the thing is that it's very hard to understand what the uh, evaluator, in this case the exam, want us to answer. Because if we think about our ideas and our opinions, we will have choose different options. But I don't know. I think it's based also this website is kind of tricky. First, it's like British English, so I don't know if they do it like things differently there. But yeah, and it's okay. It's I mean, I feel that the two options that we choose that were not incorrect, no, they were not correct. I think that they were also correct in some way. But I think it will depend on the teacher that is like grading you the moment that you take a reading exam. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm very happy to see you here again. I'm very glad that you could join to this session, and I hope to see you next week, hopefully. And that's it. I sent you the attendance link through the chat, and I hope you will get better, your voice will get better, and your class will go very good today.
Thank you, teacher. I hope so. That too. And yeah, hopefully next week I will have my real voice because this week I haven't
Hmm.
been with my real voice.
Okay, so
Next
I
week
don't
I
know
hope so.
Jason's voice. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You don't know my
Okay, that's
real
good.
voice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear you for the first time then. Okay, Jason, I gotta go. I have another class, but it was very nice to having you here, and I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, teacher. Same to you. So see you next class and good day.
Thank you, you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.